In this video, I'll be running through why your return on ad spend figures in platform are likely wrong due to GST implications that you're not using to calculate your initial break-even returns. A lot of businesses get caught up here, particularly those that are running very close to break-even. You might not realize it, but your true break-even return on ad spend that you're seeing in platform is actually worse than it seems because it's encapsulating GST revenue. So let me keep this video short and I'll run you through exactly what the implications are here and how to actually fix it in terms of your reporting. So where the issue really lies is that people go and they calculate their break-even or their required return on ad spend for a level of profitability. And the way that they do this, the easy calculation for break-even, is it's just 1 divided by gross margin percentage. And so let's say you're running at a 50% gross. That means that your break-even return on ad spend is a 2. Generally speaking, that gross calculation right here is being made based on GST not being included. And so let's say you have a $50 cost of goods and you're selling for $100 and then at checkout, 10% GST gets added. Or maybe you're priced already at 110, but you've made this calculation based on 50 divided by 100 and you're not counting GST because you really shouldn't be counting GST in any of your calculations. Then what ends up happening is that your attributed ROAS in platform actually captures the entire revenue figure at checkout. It doesn't automatically exclude GST. And so what ends up happening is it will go and attribute the $110 rather than the 100. It will divide it by the spend and it will show you that you're actually sitting at a 2.2. And so you may think we're actually profitable here. The campaigns are actually, they're not enormously profitable, but they are slightly positive. And so we can go and we can actually start scaling up these ads, scaling up these ad sets and hoping that this flicks into slightly more profitability and we actually start to generate profitable customer acquisition. The issue is this $10 here is obviously not cash collected. It goes straight to the government. And so in reality, you have to make an adjustment. You need to adjust down based on the GST that's being attributed, given your break-even ROAS numbers and all your other numbers are being calculated in this way. And so the way to do this is you go and you create a custom column or a custom metric within Facebook, and you create that custom metric based on the following formula, which is purchases conversion value divided by 1.1 divided by amount spent. This formula right here will give you an adjusted return on ad spend figure that takes into consideration the fact that your conversion value is going to be inflated by 10% due to that attributed GST. And so once again, this only matters based on relatively how you're calculating target return on ad spend figures and target break-even figures. If you're calculating these with GST included, then it's fine. Whatever you see in the platform will correlate in the profitability. It'll all come out in the wash and make sense. But most people don't. Most people don't calculate their break-even ROAS with GST in mind. Most people don't calculate their necessary return on ad spend figures, their blended ROAS, their MER, with consideration of GST. And therefore, the in-platform attributed ROAS is now slightly inflated. It looks a little bit better than what you're actually performing at. And so then when you look at the profitability at the end of the month, it doesn't seem to really line up despite the numbers that you were following and the KPIs that you had. And that slight variance is due to this 10% over attribution.